So Cody and I analyzed the mission statement for IUP and realized that it was very plain and basic and did not emphasize the true mission of IUP.
For the emergency action plan, the position statement, we liked that it explained who was all involved and who would be part of it. For serious injury, there's no time to consult. It says the athletic trainer during serious injury, and we didn't like this because there should be time to consult athletic trainer, need be. Moderate severity, we'd like the administered by available staff to the level of training. We'd like to know who and what their level of training is. Within on-scene responsibility scenario section, they need to state specific venues. They need to stop using someone too much to identify specific personnel. There needs to be a predetermined location for the arrival of EMS, and the caller should stay in that location to flag EMS down rather than reporting to the field. The medical staff or coaches should go along with the athlete as long as they are appropriate staff to continue the game or practice. In matter of a serious injury, coaches should be certified appropriate to act in case the athletic trainer is not there or present. Serious injuries should be relayed to the athletic trainer immediately or after the game ends, again if they're not there, rather than having them report it within 24 hours. The return to play guidelines need to be summarized so that they can be quickly referenced. They need to specify medical locations on campus or off campus and the specific insurances that they take. HIPAA guidelines should be stated. Also, for quick reference, the AD access and phone locations should be specified more clearly, specifically talking about the Memorial Fieldhouse and Miller Stadium. And we also really like that there's emphasis on documentation of everything.
So to go along with the things that Cody has previously said before, I now want to get into the emergency action plan of Zink Hall, South Campus Athletic Complex, as well as the KCAC. So we found some flaws within these documents as to the not being specific enough with the phone locations and the AD access. They refer to some of the cues as being the southwest corner of the building, which we don't feel would be beneficial for those who have not visited the campus, since that may be unclear. So using street names or visual permanent landmarks that won't change would be awesome. So in addition to what I've just said, it also stated in the emergency action plan upon the EMS access that the athletic trainer should determine the most appropriate access for EMS personnel and include that in their action plan. Well, we feel like this is the action plan and it's not stated, so for every venue they should have a specific spot, whether, for example, the basketball courts, the EMS will always enter gate B. So we feel like that should be stated. The next thing that we feel should be stated is that within the emergency phone numbers, the numbers obviously should be stated and obviously should be reviewed every year because phone numbers are always subject to change. Going into the environmental issues, we also want there to be at least like graphic charts for quick references, because they kind of just elude the audience onto the NCAA website, and in times of emergency you won't be able to access that as quickly as you can to a visual chart. As well as that, we would like reference pages about referring to what's the most appropriate enclosed shelter in case there's a lightning emergency. So adding reference page would be beneficial so that you're not just flipping through the emergency action plan frantically. The next thing that we would like to talk to is the review of policies. It states that at the end of each academic school year, these will be reviewed. We would just like to know what month and who will be taking a part of this process. As for the standard operating procedures, we would like there to be like little references, like reference pages as to what you do if the athletic trainer isn't there, like what are the normal heart rate, blood pressure, respiratory rates, and treatments for shock. So just adding a reference page for the coaches that aren't aware of what to do. In conclusion, we want to talk about injury management. We would like the therapeutic modalities and when they will be calibrated every year by the manufacturer to be listed so that there's an organization with that. As well as with bloodborne pathogens, they state that you should follow the OSHA guidelines. Well, what if you don't know what they are? We would like to briefly get into that within the emergency action plan.